Hey everybody, I've got the good watercolor paper right here. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, and I also have the good watercolor paints. It's been a while since I did watercolor. It's been too long. Here's my little palette. Look, today I'm gonna bite the bullet and do the watercoloring the way that I avoid doing it so much of the time, which is to do the line work first and then come in with the color. Because I keep telling myself I'm going to do that, and then I kind of chicken out because here's what I'm afraid will happen. I'm afraid I'll make a drawing I really like with pen and ink, which is something I'm very comfortable with, and then I'm afraid that I'll come in with the watercolors and I'm afraid I'll ruin it, right? So in the past, what I've done with the watercolors is I start with the watercolors and then I tell myself, worst case scenario, I can only make it better with the pen and ink afterwards. But that's just, like I said, just me being a little chicken. Because I've already had these watercolors out for a week, and the first thing I did like a few days ago was messing around with just smushing the watercolors around on a tiny piece of paper under a microscope, and I made this crazy little video I posted on my channel a while ago, which was just this microscopic video swirls of pigment moving around. You might have seen it. Go watch it if you want. All of that footage was made just in this little sheet of paper, these little swirls. And just swishing stuff around. It was very fun, but I need to actually make something, a drawing, some art. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. And tell me if you think I ruined the line drawing or not. It's gonna be okay though. I gotta say, lately around here, around these parts, there's something strange in the air that's been making everything grow at an alarming rate. Should I be worried? I don't know. But my hair, my fingernails, my grass, the weeds around my driveway, probably some other things I haven't noticed yet, but I'll notice when it's too late. I just trimmed my fingernails, and I feel like I had just trimmed them, like the day before. They were getting too long. And then even between the beginning and the end of this video, you'll notice that I've gotten a haircut. But let me talk about that more in a second, because now a small sponsored segment. Make sure you go to Squarespace and look at the options they have for setting up, designing, and hosting your own website. They've got this amazing system for designing your own website where you can drag and drop these modules, and it's very intuitive. It's like playing with blocks, but you can resize the blocks just by dragging the corners, and you can sync it up with all of your social media. So when you post on Instagram, it'll update your website, or post on your website, it'll update your Instagram, etc. You can sell stuff on there. It automatically updates your customers, sends them emails. And go to squarespace.com for your free trial. And then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/PeterDraws for 10% off your first website or domain. Well, I was talking about getting a haircut, and I have to concentrate a little bit when I go to these things for it to not be stressful and mildly traumatic, because I don't know. I feel like I go to one of those nice places. I grew up getting free haircuts, so paying any amount is a lot. But now tell me, is it a lot for the base price of the haircut to be $45? It feels like a lot to me. It feels like a lot of money, plus a tip, right? But growing up, my mom would cut my hair for free, me and my dad's hair. She would just sit us down in a chair in the middle of the kitchen and cut our hair because I was born in the Philippines. My parents were missionaries, and part of their training for being missionaries was my mom learned to cut hair because you didn't know if you would be out in the middle of the jungle or something for years, and there wouldn't be a barber nearby, right? Anyways, now I'm not living with my mom anymore, and when I try to cut my own hair, it doesn't usually go very well. So now I pay someone else to do it, and I feel like I've got two options. Either go to Supercuts at Walmart, or go to some nice kind of hipster trendy place. There are probably more than these two options. Those are just the two I've considered. And I used to go to Supercuts. It was not bad. I think it's just like a pride thing, me pampering myself a little bit because the atmosphere is nicer at the trendy haircut place, because you go in and there's nice music on, the decor is nice. You get to sit in like a traditional, like nice barbershop chair. There's a big mirror in front of you, and they offer you a beer or a coffee, which and a free beer or coffee. And I always say no, because how do you drink something while you're getting your hair cut? I don't know. You have your hands trapped underneath that frontal cape the whole time. So I don't know how you're supposed to drink anything. Maybe it's in case you have to wait, but I never have to wait because I make an appointment and come on time. Anyways, I like the experience of the haircut at the nice place because they offer me a drink. And, of course, when they shampoo and scrub my hair, I get a little scalp massage, and they put a warm towel over my face. And then I have to do this complicated thing where I try to explain that I just want my hair to be shorter. In fact, I told them, I'm like, hey, it's either this or I give myself a buzz cut at home. So please just use, I don't say this because it starts to sound a little rude, but I'm hoping like, hey, please, can you just use your expertise? This is your profession to just make it shorter and make it look better than it would look if I did it myself, right? Of course, I'm probably assuming too much. I'm probably assuming that they can read my thoughts a little bit because they don't really know what I want. I'm thinking of an image in my mind, and they're just kind of grasping at straws. They're like, how short? That's why they start asking things like, do you want it off your ears, off your neck, shorter on the sides, longer on top? And I'm just like, I think I just kind of freak out a little bit. I'm just like, please do just read my mind and get it how I want it. And also, it's frustrating because I want a certain thing that I can't have because every time I get a haircut, I realize that my hairline is receding a little bit more than it was before. Let's change the subject. Other things that have been growing a lot, besides my hair and my fingernails, my grass. Maybe it's just because spring is springing. My grass is growing so weirdly fast. It seems like I have to cut it maybe every 3 or 4 days just to be able to get through it with the lawnmower. Incredible. And then there's some weeds that have been growing around my driveway that I have been neglecting, and I neglected them for a little bit too long, and some of them turned into legitimate trees. Small trees, but actual trees, like they have bark on them and stuff. I tried to tackle some of them yesterday, and it was a good feeling. I mowed. I pulled out these weeds. I was like going at them with like this trowel, these snippers, this little hand saw thing. I was just tearing stuff out of the ground. I was going to war with nature, okay? And I started to feel a little bit like a monster, because the whole reason I was letting the weeds grow in the first place is because I didn't feel like I had the ability to choose. I didn't know if I should be able to choose which things were weeds and which weren't. Because I feel like the only difference between like a plant in a garden and a weed is intention, is desire, is just which ones you want. And I thought they all looked kind of nice. They're all pretty green flowering things. But I see now a lot of the weeds, it's more than that. Sometimes some plants maybe the ones I'll call weeds now, they don't grow in the best spots, right? It's also about location. Location, location, location. They grow right on the edge of your driveway and make it hard to get in and out of your car, especially when they get big, start to be more tree-sized, right? Stuff like that. But yeah, I started to feel a little bit bad that I was warring with nature. Not just that I was cutting down my grass in its prime with this gas-powered machine. I felt like I was in the middle of that movie, what's it called? There's some old animated movie where this massive machine was going through chopping down a forest, and there was this black like goo monster inside the machine. Fern Gully, I think, was the movie called. I never saw the whole machine, but I remember the whole movie, but I remember seeing part of it at a friend's house one time. I was down in this basement. I have this distinct memory of watching part of this movie, and that the machine and that monster, the goo monster, I don't know the plot of the movie, but I remember it left an impression on me, and I felt like I was that malevolent force the other day when I was pulling weeds and mowing my yard. And I wish I could get to some point where I could just let nature grow and do its thing. But I guess we have to fight back a little bit if we just want to have our own space to exist. We have to find some balance, I guess, because it's not, I don't think it's evil to pull out weeds, even though I feel like sometimes it is. I don't know where I get that idea, because even, I don't know how long I'm going to talk about this because the video has to end at some point. But look, even when I was going on that walk around the lake the other day, and I posted that video of me looking at things in nature, there was a lot of deleted scenes where a beaver had been chewing on random trees, and there were so many random chunks of trees where a beaver had been chewing, which to me seemed like almost pointless chewing. And maybe I had come through in the middle of this beaver's work, and the beaver was going to come back and finish things up, but it looked like some trees had been only partially chewed through or felled, or some trees had just been gnawed on for almost no reason. I think maybe these things are just beyond my understanding, right? But all I'm saying is I feel like humans are nature too. Beavers are nature. Woodpeckers, that's nature. They mess up trees. Trees mess up other trees. When a tree falls over in the forest, they might knock down another tree. So maybe it's not evil to knock down a tree. I don't know. Maybe it's weird to be moralizing a tree and knocking it down. I don't know. I have so many weird thoughts about this, and I haven't figured it all out. I'm just kind of saying things out loud. But it would be nice to not have to mow my lawn. Maybe one day when I own a house, I can have some sort of, have you heard of this thing called xeriscaping, where you fill a lawn or a space with like local native plants that you don't have to water, because these are plants that live and are supposed to grow in the local native climate, stuff like that, instead of the ecological wasteland that is a lawn. Okay, never mind. Rant/tangent over. I don't even know why I was talking about that, but there was some other stuff that was growing, but I can't remember anymore. I got distracted. I also want to make a Zen garden where I can play with gravel and rocks and stuff. Oh, that would be so cool. I don't think, and that would get rid of a lot of grass. And I guess you would probably have to pull weeds out of that too, because weeds would probably try to grow through the gravel too. But see, there's no winning. I don't know. You have to fight for yourself a little bit, fight for your own space. Anyways, all right. Goodbye, everyone. Let me know what you think of this drawing and the battle between lines and color and paint. And if you liked just the line work version better, or you like it with paint, I think they look kind of cool with the paint. But, I'm also predisposed to liking the line work since that's what I've been doing for so long. But I hope you have a good day. Take it easy. Relax. Breathe. in, out. All right, goodbye. Love you. Okay, here is a little song I've been working on called A Starry Night. It's short and sweet, and I think it's pretty.